Welcome to this episode live with the Managed Service Provider Association of America. I'm your host, Mike, and today's guest, Teddy Cillis from LincolnIT. Teddy, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure.
Teddy, you're in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York. We're in Long Island, Hicksville, Long Island.
Fantastic. In case anyone didn't notice it from your strong accent there, Teddy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. I'm
Born
sure you
and
hear
raised.
some of the A's and the boots in mine. All right, Teddy, we were talking in the prep show. You've been in business for a long time. When did you start the company? And tell us how it came to be.
Started the company in '98. I was working for a service provider back in the early '80s to early '90s. I think from '81 to like '97, and we were servicing mini computers. One day, I was talking to a friend of mine who is now a partner, and I was planning on leaving the company that I was working for after 17 years to go work for another software development house here in Long Island, and they were looking to start up a service division to support their clients. And my friend, now partner at the time, said, "Why don't you do it yourself?" He had some seed money at the time that he said, "Listen, we can get started." A week later, instead of me resigning with a position after 17 years, I decided to and take another job. I opened up the company.
Fantastic. That's a big leap. There are three co-founders in this
There's
business.
three. So I opened up the company with our partner Gary, and then Gary is just he was my investor, and I was seeking a working partner, and I hooked up with John. Me and John worked together for about 5 or 6 years at my previous employer, and I had a short list of people. He was the first one on the list. He accepted the role, and he came in here as a partner of the company.
Cool. I like asking this question for people that started the business in the late '90s. What was Y2K like for you?
For us, long time ago, but we were okay. There really wasn't much for us. It was almost like it was just another day here at Lincoln. And there really wasn't much drama. Uh, our customers just, I guess, too, back in the day, in the early 2000s, we were servicing Novell networks and still doing the mini computers. So it really didn't affect us too much. We weathered that storm.
Cool. I've listened to a few other podcasts on the hype and hullabaloo around Y2K. It's fun to think back. I was just a kid, but I remember being at a New Year's Eve party with my parents, knowing about Y2K, and then nothing happened. You know the story. Well, in the prep, we were talking that many people see their business as their baby. Now, your baby's 27 years old now. I bet that there are some employees that you have that are younger than your business.
We definitely have some that weren't born when we started, and like our conversation earlier, we're hiring the second generation. We have our staff. We're hiring our father's sons now, so that even shows us how long we've been in business when we're able to go hire a son of an employee.
Wow. And this is a mark of continuity in the business, also the valuable experience you create as a community. A lot of people take pride in how long their clients stay with them. This is a whole nother level to say that some of your employees have been with you for 25 years. It's an entire generation that you've employed.
Definitely, and we're proud of it. We put it in as part of our presentation. We're presenting the company as much as we have clients that have been with us for decades. I mean, we have two clients that have been with us for over 35 years. They followed our careers, and they're still with us today. Um, so it's the same with the employees. We're just as proud of the longevity they've had with us than our clients.
Fantastic. Over the last 27 years, there's no doubt been changes in technology, but what stayed the same in your business? How you serve clients, what they expect from you. What stayed the same over almost 3 decades?
I think we just been consistent. Our first thought with clients is customer service. And we're good listeners. So for 27 years, we listen to the customer. We're fair and we're reasonable with our customers. So that's what's been consistent throughout the 27 years. Um, that we're fair with our pricing. We're looking for long-term relationships. So it doesn't matter what systems you're running. We're going to treat you and look at you at the same way we did from day one when we opened the doors.
Has there been an evolution in the services that you've offered over like nearly 30 years now?
Well, we started with mini computers, Novell networks. Now we have a 24/7 help desk, a 24/7 knock, staffed with our badged employees. We have 3 locations here in the tri-state area. We have an office in Midtown Manhattan. We have our headquarters here in Hicksville, and we have an office in East Hampton. We have an office in Cyprus and an office in the Philippines. So a lot
Wow.
has changed.
When was the addition of the global talent, and what was the motivation there?
5 year, I would say it was about 5 years ago when we wanted to be a true 24/7 help desk, 24/7 operation. We went offshore. Our CIO, he is from the Philippines. And so we worked out something where we can recruit direct. So we started an office with, I think it was about 8 help desk engineers, and now we're up to about 20. And the same with Cyprus. One of my managers that have been with us for over, I think it's about 18, 19 years, is from Cyprus. He offers an opportunity to say we have some good talent there, and it's actually worked out pretty well.
Fantastic. What type of clientele do you like serving? Which industries are best for you?
Well, the majority of our business is in the non-for-profit healthcare. It's about 50% of our revenue. But we're in multiple verticals when it's wholesale distribution, legal. We really do run the gamut when it comes to the verticals since we're hardware agnostic. It's all about service, support, and solutions. But non-for-profit and healthcare, I would say, are the 2 areas that we focus on. And in the last 2 years, even the auto industry, auto dealerships.
Mhm. Mhm. When you say healthcare, we're talking, dental, small medical, chiro, what
Hospitals,
works for you?
small medical hospitals.
Very cool, and what allowed you to gravitate towards those?
That when we opened the door, well, actually, my beginning of my career, one of my oldest customers is a large hospital in New York City that I've been in for over 38 years. I used to hold the beeper, go fix hard drives in the middle of the night, things that you are not aware of. So many computers were in hospitals, in blood banks. And again, we were about relationships. And, a lot of these clients still stayed with us as the transition to technology happened.
When talking about healthcare and IT, I hear, an up and down apathy for HIPAA and private health information record protection. How do you address that with your clients? HIPAA exists. Many small clinics are apathetic to it because it's too complicated, too onerous. How do you bring this up with clients?
Well, what we do is our staff goes through a HIPAA training, HIPAA awareness. So we outsource our HIPAA training for internal use, and all our engineers, help desk techs, management staff, all go through a HIPAA awareness training throughout the year. They have to go through the course. So it's one way for us to stay on top of it, and we could relate and make the customer feel comfortable with the service that they're getting from the engineers that we have, and in the understanding of the importance of HIPAA.
How do you bring up, like, how do you drive some intrinsic motivation here so that the clinics aren't just running away from HIPAA fines, but more so investing proactively to protect their patients?
I mean, what we do with the majority of our clients is we do quarterly reviews, business reviews. So, we're trying to keep them abreast of what we're aware of. In turn, they're going to let us know of some changes that they're aware of. and then we're always going to match whatever it needs to be with the solutions that we have or the services that we have to offer. So this concept, our people, our account managers, our engineering team are always in conversations with our clients. Many of them, we may have even weekly calls just to review projects, service related issues, uh, future projects, budgets. So again, it's just constant communication, and that's how we stay on top of it.
Mhm. How are you dealing with the Windows 10 doomsday clock coming in October? Because that's definitely a thing in the calendar for HIPAA.
Uh, People have to open up their pocketbooks. It's we can't force their hand, but they need to understand the importance of why they need to do it, and especially the security aspect of it. And they need to be aware of the vulnerabilities that they could face if they don't do do the upgrades.
What do you personal question now, what do you think is gonna happen to all of the computers that can't upgrade to Windows 11? What are people gonna do with them?
We are going to dispose of them properly. We do
It's a
offer
lot of
those.
electronic waste.
We do
There's gotta
offer those. We do offer those services.
Yeah. This is what I've been asking a bunch of MSPs, like, what is everyone gonna do with all this old hardware? You can't keep using Windows 10, that's for sure. It's gonna be riddled with vulnerabilities the day after. It's gonna be a huge target. But it just seems like a waste to throw all this stuff out.
Uh, Listen, some of it for us will be recycled, okay, used for parts, right, for our clients to support our clients. Others will just sit in a warehouse for some time, and then it'll be time for us to do some. Again, we do have a program for electronic waste, e-waste, and disposal with certifications. So we do that on a weekly basis.
Mhm. We're gonna have to think of some fun recycle, repurpose drive. There's gotta be some school STEM camp that's gonna want all these computers.
Back in I'd say it was about 15, 20 years ago, we used to donate a lot of the older equipment to some less fortunate places, museums, things of that nature, that didn't have much. But again, it's the security aspect of it that we're concerned about. Security
Right.
awareness is probably number one priority these days. So,
Mhm.
we're not going to repurpose things and put them in environments that they could be vulnerable.
Mhm. Talking about data storage, tell us about the Cloud Vault program that you mentioned in
So,
the prep call.
for about 4 or 5 years, for the past 4 or 5 years, my partner John has developed and designed a solution with Zerto, and we use the Zerto solution to compete with Datto. We do have quite a bit of Datto appliances out there with our clients, but we're a SOC 2 Type 2 environment here in headquarters. We have a data center, and we designed a solution with Zerto that you could do your data replication and DR on our platform, and we're very competitive and a proven solution.
And how are your typical healthcare, small medical clinics using this to for disaster recovery and business continuity?
It's part of since we are their outsourced IT, we're managing their data, we're managing their backups. It's part of the solution. So for them, it's transparent. There's no burden for them. Uh, you know, as I said, the solution, which has been recognized by HP and Zerto, uh, we could do file restores. We could recover within, depending on the SLAs, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours recover if we had to do DR. And we're in full control. The key here is we're in full control of it. We're not dependent on data. We're not depending on making a phone call to another party. We have full control of whatever it is that they need because we manage and operate the environment.
Mhm. And they must appreciate that smoother experience, faster turnaround, less friction.
You just checked all the boxes.
Right. Fantastic. Where can people find out more about Lincoln IT?
Well, you can go to our website, www.lincolnit.com, or you could call 516-520-6463, and you could ask for me. I'll pick up the phone, and I could direct you and guide you to what you need.
All right, final question. What do you got planned for the 30th year anniversary?
That's a good one. We had a 25th. It was a big hit. We had a lot of clients with us, a lot of old employees that left us. And one of the things is, like I said, we have a lot of relationships. We're all about relationship. Um, it's going to be bigger than 25. I can tell you that. So
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, Teddy Cillis, CEO and founder of LincolnIT, thanks for joining us on the show. Your first interview recording, Teddy. Congratulations.
thank you. My
We're
first
popping the
podcast.
champagne bottle.
Thank
It
you.
only took 27 years.
It did.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us live with the MSPAA. You can find out more about LincolnIT at LincolnIT.com or call Teddy. His number is going to be in the show notes on the directory page. Thanks for joining us, Teddy. Great to hear your story.
Thank you.